You've got all these crummy 4 seeds that you can send to their death like Kansas. Kansas mails in their Big 12. They're worthy of sending to the East and get smashed by Connecticut. Nope. We'll send an Auburn team that played their heart out all weekend long. Everyone on the committee literally should be fired.
The numbers told the story. They always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is the only back-to-back winner of the Hilton Super Contest back in the day and has really done himself good by having a second act as a noted bridge jumper on Twitter. It's the great Steve Fezzik. How you doing?
I have put in my application to be on the NCAA committee next year where, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't put 3 of the 6 best teams in the same region. It's just me.
Just you.
Also, one more suggestion.
Yes.
Don't submit all of your seeds on Friday night. You might want to watch the Saturday games at least and reseed based upon what happens there instead of just having shrimp cocktails and being told, Barry Horowitz, how great you are. I mean, how Auburn... think about this. You've got all these crummy 4 seeds that you can send to their death like Kansas. Kansas mails in their Big 12. They're worthy of sending to the East and get smashed by Connecticut. Nope. We'll send an Auburn team that played their heart out all weekend long. Everyone on the committee literally should be fired. Sharp 5th grader would look at this and say, oh, this is completely wrong.
What Stevie's referring to is the number 4 team overall. KenPom Auburn is in UConn's region, as are the number 5 and 10 overall KenPom teams. And it really is just an unbelievable disconnect where they say, oh, no, we're aware of KenPom and things like that, other advanced analytics. Yet, in the end, there seems to be no correlation whatsoever.
Or they seem to be looking at KenPom from 6 days before
or that
Sunday, and they don't even adjust for it. This is the laziest committee out there. I mean, it's back like in the 70s when Detroit was making like all these big cars when gas was really expensive. It's like, oh, people still buy our cars. We'll just do it the way we've always done it.
And the explanation was, well, UConn got to pick where they were, and so then we made it a travel thing. Like, it was just everything but what we would consider important.
Yeah, and the bottom line is if you mail it in on your conference tournament, you're deserving like Kansas or Duke or any of these teams that did lousy. You can send these teams through hard draws.
Yeah.
Don't penalize the teams like Illinois and Auburn and Iowa State for having great runs through their tournaments.
All right, now, Stevie, you did a little something there where you tried to deflect from what I started the segment with, so I'm going to go back to that for a second. So you... Not only, once again, no one's smarter than Steve on this stuff. He's the only back-to-back Hilton Super Contest winner, so I want to give you your street cred. However, as we've talked about many times on this show, I don't know why you are what you are on Twitter, but one of the things you are on Twitter is you feel the need, in addition to some of your conflicts on Twitter, you feel the need to share with people that you are betting these massive money lines. And last year, famously, right, you had Purdue, what was it?
5,000.
Okay. And I don't know if you know this, but number 16, Fairleigh Dickinson, beat him out, right? Did you hear?
So I did.
Okay. You lost high 5 figures on that?
Yes.
Okay. You already have, high 5 figures. Okay. This year, you have already made a couple of these bets?
Oh, I've made like a dozen, but I publicly have disclosed like 5 or 6 of them.
Okay, yeah. Such as
famously, I bet against the DePaul Blue Demons.
Well, I'm not talking about. Yes, okay. So you say that one first. Yes.
So Dunks, DePaul, Thrills, DePaul, 18 non-Georgetown conference game blowouts.
3-29, I believe.
Villanova needing the game like blood to make the tournament. And then what's this? I'm watching the game, and Nova, complete no-show. If DePaul had a team, even without the team, DePaul should have won. They didn't. I got away with it. So
you got away with it.
I managed to win my bridge jumper on Villanova, which, frankly, I liked way better than Purdue.
Yes.
Because I actually... I just have thought DePaul is one of the worst Power 5 teams I've ever seen.
Villanova hits a 3 in the closing seconds, and they force a steal on what would have been what was DePaul's final possession. Okay, but for round of 64, have you made some of these bets as well?
I have, and so my buddy, the crack man, can corroborate.
Yeah.
So I played, and I love these bets. These are so good. Disclaimer, if you're going to follow me, don't be laying minus 8,000 on stuff I laid minus 4,500. Make sure you got access to the good numbers, and don't bet more than 5% of your bankroll. And that's not to risk. That's not to win 5%. That's what you risk. So if you have a $10,000 bankroll, I don't care how good the bet is. Take 5% of that 10,000, risk 500. I know it doesn't pay hardly anything, but really good bets. Basically, Connecticut's a 26-point favorite. Any 24-point favorite wins about 99% of the time. So you should have to lay minus 10,000. But you don't have to lay minus 10,000. You lay minus 5,000 on Connecticut, which I did. And Houston, I laid minus 2,500. $100 fine. Talking about a line that's gone. I would still recommend Houston minus the current. Like, you can get 3,000, I think, at Pinnacle in faraway places. So the bottom line is that, and you know how I feel about this. If there's an epidemic out there where people say, oh, I bet BYU minus 7.5. I don't care. The line's 9.5. Who do you like? BYU minus 9.5 against Duquesne.
Yeah. Well, you self-imposed a fine, which was fine there.
I'll buy you breakfast.
I got a haircut. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. You're in need. Yes.
I am in need. Look at it. Look at this thing. Stevie can't believe that I'm holding to my haircut and not going to breakfast. So wait. Okay. So just to put a bow on this, for those who are new to betting, what Steve is saying is that value is value, and that if you're a plus EV bet to you mathematically is a plus EV bet, and so even though the number is this cartoonish number to the average new bettor, you still view it through a mathematical lens, and you will go ahead and do it. To the new bettor, though, someone who's just starting out, you're not going to say to them, yeah, go ahead and follow me on this, right? Just as a starter thing, maybe that's not the best route. You would concede that, right?
I will concede that you shouldn't bet more than you normally bet. So if you normally bet 110 to win 100,
that's better
then
said.
You can bet $100 to win $2 on Connecticut. Don't be betting. Suddenly bet 5,000 on something when you're normally betting 100.
Okay, that's fair.
You in that tweet you had, it was 5% of your bankroll. I mean, I think that's a question I would ask you. Is it always for newer bettors? Would you always say 5% the threshold? You'd never go above?
Not even.
I would say 0 for newer bettors. I would bet nothing because you're not going to win. If you're a new bettor, basically almost everyone I know that's a new bettor loses. All right, it's all recreational value. So bet 5, have fun, bet $5. It's fine. I don't go to the casino and say you're playing roulette. You know, you're the biggest idiot in the world. No, it's fun. You know, you can bet $5. What would possess you to bet hundreds of dollars on a roulette wheel? No one wins. Stone cold sucker game. That's just silly. I mean, you're not going to win. Just bet. It's the same thing. Bet $5.
PSA for people who, now that it's March Madness, want to throw out bets on every single game. You would say to them,
I would say it's fine. Bet $5 in each and every game. Have a good old time. It's just like the Super Bowl. You can bet $5 on 20 different props, and even if you get crushed and you hit 40%, last time I checked, I don't jump over my fence where I live and start screaming at the golfers. I can't believe you donked off $150. I don't go to bowling. Oh my God! You know, you're $6 a game and $8 on surge pricing. It's fine. You're having recreation, but there's no reason to scale it up. I play blackjack, and I see people playing $500 a hand. And I'm not saying my son could play better. I mean, well, obviously he plays better now. He's 13, but when he was 5 years old, he played better. They have no idea what they're doing. And it's like, but you know what? That's fine. Go ahead and play $25 a hand, $15 a hand. It's recreation. It's fun. Why do you have to beat your chest and say, look at me, I'm a big man, I got all this money, Bruno Mars, I can bet $10,000 a hand, I'll just do another show.
The worst kept secret in Las Vegas on Bruno Mars is out, by the way. Okay, any first round betting tenets or any bracket tenets that you can share with folks that are tried and true for you?
Brackets, depends how big your bracket is. Head to head, if I'm up against Kelly, I'm taking every favorite every game. Good luck, because my strategy is optimal and I'll be favored to win. If we're playing just a little group of 12, maybe I'll take a modest underdog. So I'll take a number 2 seed, for instance. I'll take a Tennessee to win it all and pretty much go chalkity chalk the rest of the way.
Chalkity chalk.
But the bigger the bracket gets, the more fun you can have.
That's right.
If you have millions of people, well, now we can entertain James Madison, making the Final Four and have a good old time. Take San Diego State to win it all, or New Mexico. I would say even given that, the number one mistake I think people make is they do pick too many upsets. All right, so all things being equal, When in doubt, I would scale back a little bit on your upset meter, even in these bigger pools. Let's face it, if you have New Mexico to winning it all, you can go pretty chalky the rest of the way. You're probably going to do just fine.
Unless you're in an upset rewarded pool, which we talked about yesterday, then you should be upset crazy with your picks.
Exactly right, yes.
NIT. You like to do, this came up on the Megapod yesterday, Will brought this up, you like to do something pretty blanket in the NIT.
Yeah, overs at open, and I'm kicking myself. So DraftKings, first to market, so I give them all the accolades to go ahead and put all the numbers up. So they're like 8 points lower than what the current numbers are. And we're here in Nevada. I don't have access to DraftKings. They've got a beautiful building right by the Durango Casino, by the way.
It is beautiful.
And
Tell us all about it, Steve.
I want to walk in. I'm like, you got a kiosk? I can get my bets in against you guys? Nope. No, this is all administrative. What are you doing? Security. Get security down here right away. But they just priced it based upon what the Ken Palm ratings are, et cetera. Well, everything's different. NIT, a lot of these teams are bubble teams. Like, think about Ohio State. And I think our friends at Raz were on this. So Ohio State has basically moved themselves close to the bubble. They need to win all these Big Ten games. So they need every game like blood, and they're still scoring high. Imagine what's going to happen tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Now that's like, all right, we fought the good fight. Let's just roll the ball out there. Let the kids have a good old time.
And defense takes effort. Who wants to do that in the NIT?
Who really wants to advance? You're kind of indifferent until the Final Four.
Yeah. Before we get to this last man standing contest, there's something about brackets that no one else talks about that you bring up from time to time. What is that?
Correlation of conferences. So we're really not sure how good the Mountain West is, or how good that the SEC is, for instance. So I'm going to propose a strategy of correlations where you pick out a conference and you have more or less of those teams advancing. I think the Big Ten stinks. The reason being, Northwestern is never good. I don't care. We got Boo Boo Booby, and he's awesome.
I don't think that's how you pronounce it, Steve.
and he is awesome. But if Northwestern has a winning record in the Big Ten is down, and they're a conference to fade. So here's where I'm going. Your theme could be, let me go and have all the Big Ten teams underperforming across the board, because if I'm correct in my correlation, then I'll do very well in like these national pools.
It's basically the all-in or all-out strategy.
Yes.
You're either going to suck it up or you're going to do great.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, let's talk about this contest, because obviously people fill out traditional brackets. We talked about this yesterday. Sometimes it's the standard 2-4, 2-4-8, 16, 32, 64 type. Sometimes it's upset rewarded brackets. I'm in Survivor. This is Stations Casino Last Man Standing. Explícame.
Yeah, so you $5. Price is right, Ma. And 4 entries, you get 1 free. So $20 for 5 entries. This is a great contest. The last man standing, it's just like a Survivor. Survive in advance, and you get 5 different entries. Now, in my opinion, this is the way to play it. You want to shove with one team on Thursday and Friday. You don't want to diversify and play 5 different teams. And here's why. You got to actually go to the window. There's going to be long lines. It's going to be kind of a pain. So you don't want to be stuck with the situation. You see guys all the time where they got $5 left in a slot ticket, and like, I don't even want to cash it out, or even less than $5. So if you shove, you're either eliminated or all 5 go through initially, and it's worth your time to keep coming back the first few days. And then if you got 5 entries through for the first couple days, now you can start diversifying. But I would strongly encourage you, take your very best play and put it on every entry. Take your little finger and bubble Game 7 on all 5 of your entries for Thursday, and Game 71 on all 5 of your entries Friday. And then if you advance, then you can start having fun.
Have they had this contest before?
I think they have it every year. It's just like I said, for $5.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when I'm playing World Series of Poker. I see like $5, turbo tournaments. It's just not enough normally. But that's foolhardy of me, because this is another contest. Someone's going to win. And if you win, you get to put it on your resume as being, another contest win. So it makes sense for everyone in the industry. We all should play it.
So we were talking a little off air. You don't have like tremendous conviction on any specific team here. So when the lines came out, I would imagine that's your time, right? When the lines came out on Sunday, you pounced
So see how Gilly's trying to make me find myself, because I'll go ahead and list Houston minus 22. I owe you $40.
Yeah.
And BYU minus 7.5, $80. And frankly, this is an epidemic out there, and I can't stand it. And I'm calling out everyone who's listening. Stop with the nonsense. I don't care what you have in pocket. I don't care what your record is in pocket. Right now, BYU is laying 9.5 against Duquesne. I want to hear it's a pass. I want to hear you like Duquesne plus 9.5, or you like BYU minus 9.5. None of this nonsense of just grade myself minus 8, crap. It's not relevant.